Good morning, good morning. So today we are looking at Deltarune. Now I am going to be looking at this solo today. It's just going to be a short little breakdown here. Now I have played Undertale and am actually currently recording a an Undertale series for YouTube, which will be going up once I finish recording that. It's just taking me a little bit by bit, because doing the voices gets a little rough on my throat sometimes. I am not a professional voice actor; I am an absolute amateur. So trying to do all the voices and all the can really drag me out on me after a while. But anyway, we're looking at this. Toby Fox has the first two chapters of Deltarune out, but chapters, they say 3 through 5 are currently in development as a paid release. Um, I don't know what kind of price point we're going to be looking at, so it's going to be kind of hard to judge. But based on what we have so far, looking at this here, it does have it has the same kind of visual look, but the characters, like the main character, looks like the same human character, like maybe an older version of the human character from Undertale. But from what I understand, it's not a sequel, it's not a continuation. It's a they say it's a parallel telling. So we have some nice graphics, at least. The battles are showing that you have, more of a party instead of just solo here. Looks like we have the similar bullet hell situations, new kinds of enemies that are very different from the monsters of Undertale, so that's kind of neat. Looks like they do have a lot of their own personality to them as well. We got a shopkeep here with some interesting wares in the background, some potions, and what looks like a doll. And here, welcome, travelers. So, a lot of room for people who like to do voices or stuff like that. They can just kind of, imagine all that going on in their minds. We have, looks like actual, roads and cars. So that's kind of neat. And, oh, what this is the whole group is equipped with like doctor outfits. Okay, so maybe there's like some different clothes for the party depending on your armor or something. I don't know. But based on how it looks, everyone treated the enemy with tender loving care. All the enemies felt great. Huh. Well, that's different. So I'm wondering if you do have still the same motif of being able to do a completely non-violent run. The this It is the thing that Undertale was famous for. And I am wondering if that's going to maintain. We even have a defensive position here. So we got some interesting things to go with for that. Moving on down. Now, it is a free download to play through the first two chapters, which, again, I'll eventually be getting to this for at least those free chapters. But here we have you fight or spare alongside new characters in Undertale's parallel story, Deltarune, which is not exactly subtle that it's an anagram, where Deltarune, I suppose, is supposed to be like a remixing of the characters, the same characters, into a different story, different settings, different situations, which is why they, you know, did an anagram for the name. Says it comes with a massive soundtrack and story written by Toby Fox. Meet new and endearing main characters as well as familiar faces like Toriel, Sans, as more. Huh? Papyrus? No, he's busy. Sorry. Huh. I wonder if he actually did end up becoming one of the Royal Guard in this telling. Smooth and expressive pixel animation by Temi. Oh, that's delightful. I mean, she was one of the main artists of the original Undertale, and then actually was inserted as a character as well. Just absolutely endearing. She also has a new hat in game, a linear chapter-based system that you can pick up from anywhere. So that's going to be a nice little thing, being able to pick that up as you go. So if you need to take a break, you can do that. Creative bullet dodging based battles inspired by games like Toho and Chrono Trigger. I have to wonder, like, what part. Because Chrono Trigger didn't exactly have bullet dodging. Devilishly difficult hidden bosses. Now, my head wants to assume that that's supposed to mean devilishly, but having played Undertale before and knowing Toby Fox's vibe, uh, that's got to be intentional and only one ending. So instead of the multiple endings, we have, one definitive story that's supposed to be the outcome. Chapters 3 through 5 are in development and will someday be available as a paid release. And then FAQ: can you pet dogs in the first two chapters? Crying. This FAQ is over. That, as much as that doesn't really answer anything, it is. It's exactly the kind of meta humor that you expect out of something like this. So that being the case, how would I rate this? Now, this is actually a difficult one to rate. Like I said, I have played Undertale and I'm working on a recording series for YouTube at this time. But judging Deltarune by this page, now it is free. It has two chapters with five chapters on the way. I believe that I've heard 3 and 4 are reaching some kind of completion at the time that I am doing this. But of course, we don't have that here on the store page, and I don't have a price point for those. And considering how long, because the first time I've heard of this was a while ago, and trying to not get too involved with it, not too in depth with spoilers and stuff. I have tried to avoid the game because I like to get the full thing when it's available. Um, of course, we don't have that here. We have two free chapters, no price point. I would say now if it's $10 like Undertale, I believe Undertale is $10 on Steam and on the console eShops. If it's $10 like those for the extra chapters, hands down, I would snap that up 10 out of 10. If they were to go for 15 or 20, it might be a little bit more difficult of a purchase unless all five chapters are put out like all at once. And because we've been waiting a while for this, and I've only heard of 3 and 4 reaching completion. Of course, the fact that it's been taking so long tells me that they are putting a lot of work into those chapters. So I would say a t- because of the lack of knowledge going into this, unless, I were to do some extra digging in social media or go online asking, because of the lack of knowledge, I'm going to have to say I'm rating this a 6. Now, the visuals, I love the visuals, the pixel art and everything. I love all of that. It's just the store page is not giving us much news or updates right here so that we can see exactly what is going to be coming, how much it's going to cost, um, roughly, how many hours of gameplay for that price, or any kind of release date. It's no user, yeah. Even on Steam, it says no user reviews, which I find kind of weird. I feel like there would be reviews of those first couple of chapters. But I could easily see this bumping up to at least 8 if we get some information on what kind of price point we're looking at, what kind of release. And that is, again, that's based on just the store page. Actually playing the game, I'm sure that based on the developer's reputation and having played Undertale, it could easily jump up to a 10. The 6 is just a lack of knowledge on the store page. So before anybody comes into the comments eviscerating me, please bear in mind that that is the basis of my judgment. So yeah, Deltarune. Store page 6 out of 10, could become an 8 if we get an update in the store page about release dates, prices, and all that good stuff. $10 would be, like I said, an easy purchase for me. 15 would be a maybe. And now I don't doubt that the game could be worth a as a $20 indie game, but it would make it a harder sell until we get a definitive like how involved is chapters 3 through 5 or however many chapters there are going to be. So we have a lot of questions that just are not answered here.